Welcome, Warriors of Valhalla. This is Total War Time. Thank you for stopping by today. And today, we are back in Rome 2 Total War once again. And last week, we sacked Carthage as Rome. Well, I guess we're doing a little bit of an alternate history scenario for that last week's battle, because this week, we're sacking Rome as Carthage. Oh, this is a fun one. So here we are, Carthaginian forces pushing across a massive, great bridge across the Tiber River. Enough for 3 siege cannons to cross. We have artillery on the banks of the Tiber, taking shots at the skirmishers on the Roman skirmishers on the wall. Taking their shots, doing their thing. So, and the Romans are going to have to do everything they can to hold back the offensive, and my mouse is not working very well right now. I don't know what's up with that. I'll change the battery after this. Oh well. Anyway, so here we have Carthage. I am bringing 3 siege towers, 3 siege ladders, a battering ram, 2 scorpion units, a good number of sacred band and late Carthaginian hoplites, along with some other spear and sword infantry mixed in, along with the African elephants, and the noble cavalry unit too. Along with the Balearic slingers. They're the only skirmishers I brought. Should have brought more. This is a siege, but whereas the Romans, they have a much more balanced army, a lot more skirmishers, but they have a lot of heavy, very heavy Praetorian Guard type troops too. Although you only see these Triarii up on the walls at the moment. But I will say one thing: the Scorpions are causing casualties already. They're actually getting a lot of success by shooting this way. So yeah, we can get glimpses of Romans on the guard. There's some Praetorian Guard on there. There was another unit there. Either way, they're ready for us. And we're ready for them. So the first siege tower is moving in. Alright, and this is going to be the pinnacle of our assault. This is what's going to first help pin the enemy in place, because as I keep saying, the first step to a siege assault is to pin the defenders in place. You want to pin defenders in place, so that you can outflank them and crush them. You also don't want to be pinned too much into place by the defenders. So you want to pin as many of the defenders' reserves in one spot. While spreading out your own forces, so they not spreading them out too much. You kind of want to keep them concentrated to the point they're still fighting effectively. But you want to pin down the defenders. It doesn't have to be in one spot, but just pin them down and have more troops where the defenders aren't, so you can outflank them and destroy them. And that's what we're doing here. We have the first siege tower with our late Libyan hoplites being the first in. Over here we have a siege ladder with mercenary Italian swordsmen going in the fight. We have another siege tower with mercenary samurai warriors hitting the wall. Over on this far flank we have a siege tower with Libyan hoplites. And over here they have some Praetorians to defend this area. Not Praetorians, auxiliary infantry, my bad. But over here they're on the wall without opposition. I have another siege ladder moving in. We're climbing up this siege ladder and we're on the way up the wall. The Romans are ready to defend their town, their home, mighty Rome. And I have all my other forces over here ready to do their thing. Also, I decided to keep my Scorpions back here because look at this firing position. Enemy flank, no friendly, very little chance of friendly fire, firing down the enemy line. It'll be nice. And over here we're already routing some of their skirmishers. They were on the walls as our forces got happened. And they're making a stand at the wall. So once... Another thing I know about siege battles, I'm not the best when it comes to like proper tactic guys, just a few random tips. But another thing about siege battles is if you're going to hold them at the walls, you have to commit everything to the walls. So if they're holding you at the walls, if you manage to break through the walls, you usually win. Whereas if they hold the towns, it's a lot easier to do defensive depth. Although, don't get me wrong, the walls are a massive asset. If you can hold at the walls, it is a very difficult thing to break against. And if you have like even the slightest number of reserves, it's a really good way to cause attrition, which is what the defenders really need to do. It'll cause them to bleed until your opponent gets inside the walls and starts outflanking you. It'll cause your opponent, the attacker will bleed a lot faster than defenders. But if the defender can get kind of spread out, get behind the walls, start going up the walls, around them, killing the guys in the bailey, just in general, being outmaneuvering the defenders, you have the opportunity to win. We knew siege battles would be such focused on maneuver. Yep, over here the samurai warriors went up the siege tower and down the stairs, and they're currently in the yard fighting. Over here I have a battering ram. Sorry, my mouse. Over here I have a battering ram moving up to knock down the gate and let my own Libyan infantry and sacred band through, along with some war elephants. The Romans have a cavalry unit and praetorians on the wall currently fighting for it. Now these guys are doing a pretty good job of beating up my samurai warriors and trying to get them to fight through, try to reunite with the guys over here, but the Romans are just hounding them. Up on the walls though, it's a different story. Yeah, I have a lot of troops, they have a lot of troops. It's the main fight right now, this little section of wall. Where we're concentrating our assault is where they're concentrating their defense. And we have these, this particular unit of Praetorian Guards surrounded on the wall. Healthy unit though, so it'll be hard to knock them out. We gotta clear them out. Once we get them cleared out though, we'll be able to move down and sweep on these guys in the rear. By the way, we have more samurai warriors getting on the walls ready to pour into that fight. Well, over here the gathering ram is moving up, ready to knock the gate down and let the elephants through. Those things are awesome, but they're kind of hard to use in a siege battle because of said walls along with buildings and such. But once we get them in the city and behind enemy lines, they'll be able to wreck shop. Oh my goodness, deja vu. I'm sorry, I just had a real deja vu moment there. Anyway, still routing a number of Romans, but the fight is kind of slow at the moment. We're sending more guys down this staircase to kind of extend our position. So right now we have 2 units down there, samurai warriors, we have the late Libyan hoplites. We're going to have these sacred band down there too. Once the sacred band get down there, they're going to be able to hold for a long time. That's what I need them to do. Because as I said, I have these elephants, I have all these healthy units. If we can just hold long enough to get this gate captured and start letting the elephants and such through, they can hit these guys in the flanks and rear, clearing up those soldiers. We can just roll the entire flank. We just need that sacred band to hold and keep these Romans occupied, which it looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Because the Vigilantes are beginning the rout. They're getting into the city. Sacred band are great at defense, but they can also be good at holding ground taken inside the city. By the way, the gates are open, so soon those Libyan infantry and those elephants are be pouring through. Over here, we're slowly pushing forward. It's a slow grind, but we are slowly pushing the enemy back. Oh, also, they're using their towers to chill and kind of snipe my general bodyguard. Yeah, kind of foul play, but that's kind of my bad. So this unit of Sacred Band is in the wall, so they got these Praetorian Guards surrounded, but they're also holding against these guys, so they're surrounded. So let's see who breaks first, the Sacred Band or the Praetorian Guard. Tower is neutralized though, so that's good. Anyway, my forces are pouring in through the gate. And we have our elephants moving down the way to attack the Roman cavalry, trying to keep my spearmen trapped. Right now they're not actually closing in, but they're using skirmish tactics, but nonetheless, I have Libyan hoplites though who are routing. The Romans are doing a pretty good job holding this. It's going to be the elephants that are going to turn that fight. Over here we have the Praetorians surrounded, almost. Looks surrounded at first, but come on, mouse. I want to indicate things. But these are Praetorians. I thought they were Libyan warriors, but they're not. But we have the Sacred Band on the walls, ready to pour down the staircase, hitting these guys in the rear, pushing them out. And the cavalry over here are running. We routed their cavalry. Now we have this big old blob to deal with. We have these samurai warriors, but then they have these Triarii surrounding the Sacred Band. Those units are pretty badly depleted. They're doing a good job holding though. Over here we are slowly routing more of the enemy units, like these gladiator spearmen they sent in are routing. And we are slowly pushing them back. We did manage to rout the Praetorian Guard. So, we are pushing the Romans back with sheer weight of numbers. And spears. This is like perfect. Front towards enemy is perfect combat conditions for spears. Over here, we have our elephants moving into the fight. We're routing the sheer fear of those elephants are routing those auxiliary infantry. I'm sending in another unit through the gate to kind of slip through. Now the Praetorians are pinned down away from the gate. When troops can slip through relatively easily. We're gonna hit these gladiatrous spearwomen, spear gladiatresses. I can't speak today. In the rear with the elephants. They're just gonna start wading through, start chucking spears at the backs of them. Over there, the Triarii are gonna waver for a bit because elephants in the rear. They quickly regroup. But all the units in that area are badly depleted except those elephants. My fresh troops are up on this wall. I got these noble fighters. As I said, this is a costly fight, but we are winning.
As you say!
So yeah, my noble fighters and all these guys are just going to slam into the backs of these spearmen, pushing them forward, helping them along, and we're going to push the Romans back another couple feet. This is medieval warfare, not in its finest, but not medieval, ancient warfare in its most brutal form. A bloody siege battle on top of the walls. I can see gladiators, spearmen, and Praetorians up against sacred band, Libyan infantry, and all that good stuff. They have their skirmishers kind of firing from the flank position. That's actually a pretty good spot for holding this wall. Except it's exposed to fire from the Scorpions, but they only got 38 kills, so. Anyway, the elephants have officially charged back to the rear as I was showing you earlier. I have some skirmishers climbing up on the wall. We're routing the spear gladiatresses. Now we just have to deal with these horses and some Triarii. Now we just have to deal with the horses and some Praetorians who are holding my guys back. But unfortunately, the infantry are pretty badly depleted too. I don't know how long they're going to be willing to fight alongside the elephants. But they're elephants. They're going to do a lot of damage. Let's see. They already have 100 kills so far, and they are not going to stop there. These guys are on the walls ready to start slinging down into the bailey. Now I need to pull some guys off the walls actually to help contain the elephants. They're trying to protect this direction. The AI, you can at least get an idea of what it's doing in this game. It's not the best at it, but you can get an idea of what it's trying to do. It does make somewhat logical in a sense, but it's still pretty easy to dirt. So it's one of the smarter ones, but not the smarter ones. Not as smart as medieval 2. That dude's got a trident. I can't really zoom on him well, but yeah, come on. I want to show the dude with the trident. He's right there in the bottom left corner. I don't know if you can see him that well, but he got a trident. I can't show him very well. Anyway, I'm going to go back to a more zoomed out view because this is easier for me to control. So what's going on is, we have two major fights, alright? We have this fight down here, we have the elephants kind of clearing through these guys. So the infantry over here, once they deal with these Praetorians, oh by the way, these auxiliary infantry are routing, they're not, actually no, they were routing, they're not anymore, but they were routing, they're going to be routing soon, it's not going to be important. And the Praetorians, once that gets cleared up, they're going to kind of pour through here, climb the tower and start trying to, at least my plan is, climb the tower and start trying to deal with these guys. I have some cavalry in their rear, by the way. I have some Praetorian Guard being attacked by my slingers. But this is the main fight, along with this big old fight on the wall. And the Scorpions, of course. Now, I'm beginning to break some Italian swordsmen. They got pretty depleted, but I have lots of fresh units in the fight, too. Like, my mercenary noble fighters. I have some late Carthaginian hoplites. These guys are a lot less exhausted than the Romans. The Romans are exhausted. My guys are active, winded, active. Yeah, anyway, the Romans, they're breaking my infantry over here. But we managed to break, well, we broke the one spear unit that we saw in the general map mode. But they are breaking my troops over, my infantry over here. They're not going to stand very long. But the elephants are doing their job. 207 kills. As I said, they're not finished yet. They're still not finished. They're just going to slowly but surely just push their way through this blob with their massive weight. Nothing like elephants to break through a line. Especially in a siege, where they can just go straight at the enemy. No outmaneuvering, no funny business, just elephant smash. Over here, my skirmishers have been just whittling down in this unit, and I have some skirmishers being charged in the rear by my own skirmisher cavalry. Some medium cavalry. They're sending in the Praetorians, but that's only going to turn their backs to the slingers. They're both going to begin the rout immediately. Yeah, that was a pretty effective cap charge combined with slinger fire. Yeah, the Praetorians are routing, the skirmishers are broken. The skirmishers might come back. But now they're going to shoot into the backs of these Romans. The cavalry is going to break, and the Praetorian Guard is going to do its best to stand. Now, they did actually kill one of my elephants, two of my elephants with the Pila. So good on the Romans for actually killing two elephants. That's pretty impressive. Over here, we've actually managed to push the Romans back to their tower. And while we do have these guys wavering, they're still pushing forward. Actually, last time I tried to record this, one dude actually just Leroy Jenkins himself into the Roman line and survived, actually getting to reunite. I don't know where he is now. He's probably not in the Roman line at this point, but oh well. There's a dude with a trident though. Yeah, he's in the battle with a noble fighter. There's another dude with a trident. Gladiators. But yeah, we're pushing forward. There's another dude. There's a guy with a wolf pelt. But yeah. Over here we absolutely trampled, and they actually got killed. The Praetorians actually got finished off by the Numidian cavalry. We absolutely just trampled them at the cost of 2 elephants. Actually, no, there's a few survivors. How many are there? 9. And they're going to just get picked off as they try to leave the city. 9 Praetorians of that unit survived the elephant attack. Elephants are powerful when used right. Pretty easy to... if you know how to counter them, you can fight them, but... Look at this mess. This was mostly the elephants that actually won the fight. The other units held long enough for the elephants to get in the city, then the elephants just came in and wrecked shop. So now we just need these guys to, now we just need these Praetorians to do their job. I mean, not to go ahead and rout. We have our Sacred Band, Carthaginian Hoplites, and Living Noble Fighters in the fight to break them. Spears are really effective in a front towards enemy type of situation. And this, you know it's the offensive, this is that type of situation. So the swordsmen are pushing up and actually taking the ground. The spears are holding it. And it's effective because the Praetorians are routing. Oh, by the way, they had their general back here. We actually spotted him for a couple times, and he's actually... I'm actually going to send a unit after him. I don't think it's ever going to catch him, but hey, if it does, it does. But they're laughing at my sacred... I have some routing units that are just running right past him for whatever reason. I have no clue why, but... They're just going to taunt them, even though we're winning the wall. We're just going to say they're not routing, they're just choosing to loot early. There we go. I actually have a healthy unit. How have they only lost 5 men? And they only got 100. I have some healthy units. Those guys were not depleted at all by the fighting with the swordsmen. They're going to go ahead and get up on the walls, ready to attack the Romans in the rear to finally rout them. But it looks like they're pretty close to the breaking point anyway. I do have some of my own troops beginning to rout too, just because of the sheer number of casualties. And they are worn out. Both sides are very exhausted at this point. But I have some noble fighters. They're steady. So, Praetorians, they're going to be pushed back here soon anyway. Especially since they have 2. They're tired, but they are very healthy units, and they're mostly fresh, comparatively fresh. And they're getting on the walls to deal some serious damage from the side. So we literally have the Romans cornered. doing their best to stand, but at this point, nope, nope. Actually, over here we're sending my cavalry, so they did manage to catch the general's bodyguard. I'm sending my own cavalry in to charge the general, try and take him out. See if he'll rout them earlier. Oh, that dude just got impaled. Ouch. Yep, so we're just back to this big old slugfest. We're at the tower's gate right here. And the dude we were spectating just died, and with that, we've actually won the fight. So yeah, I hope you liked today's video, folks. And the defenders did a pretty good job of themselves. Several Praetorian Guard units actually got 100+ kills. So they did a pretty good job of it. This one unit got 200 kills, but was completely wiped out. Only about 300 of them survived, whereas I lost 1,200 men out of 1,800. So actually they outnumbered me by about 100 men. They outnumbered me by about 100 men, so I still took the city. So yeah, I hope you liked today's video, folks. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more action like this. 272 elephant kills, so yeah, Total Retirement out.